down. So Elves are Wild, tier 2 for Spurt. Oh yeah, patrons are not compatible. Unhook the patron. I was getting patron stuff progress in the background as well. Hold on, let's go look at that. I think it was, yeah, we got all the bosses done. So that means I now have like 9,000 currency and we got all the bosses in. We maxed out the free play currency, I think. Yes, awesome. Okay, stop shooting me. Stop shooting me. What do we want? Elves, half elves refer to the base tech within draw enemies of additional armor based. Okay. Immune to damage until they attack. Cool. Cool. Thanks. Hate it. Thanks. Cool. Thanks. Hate it. Thanks. Let's go. So speed and gold find. No, this isn't really speed if he doesn't have any stacks, but. Just gonna do that. Nope. Human. Up here. Starring it. Doesn't matter. All right. Get some gold find going. Because this should just be about going. Yeah, we're just going to 350. We've got the power for this, no problem. Maybe not this specific formation, but but we have the power for this without a whole lot of worries. We'll just make some choices based off potentially prepping. More damagey pushing formation based around a melee DPS. Just in case we need it. All these out. Oh, and we have another familiar. The pop there. Nice. You know what? I'm just going to put that in there. And I'll manually level up click damage. Oh, many levels. And away we go, because we have no speed potions. We've got these. We're not using this, but these are the 3 that we would use. So let's go buy some gold chests with all those gems. See if we can get some speed potions. Like we got a gold caddy chest. No speed potions. That's not... I mean, look, I'll take an epic gold find. Sure. I don't hate that chest. Medium speed potion. Good. 2 good chests in a row. That's probably all our luck, right? Yeah. Yep. One. Yep. All right. Last one. Oh my god. Boots of spider climbing for Hitch. But no speed potion. And a large blacksmithing contract. I mean, I'll take it. Still not what we wanted. So I'll just go ahead and pop this because it's consumed quick. Hello, Dance Lover, J-Dog, Calgaden, Delcoon, Lurking Rider, Marianne. Hello. What's the achievement still needed for Gale and Penelope? Oh, it's their ultimates. You got to do their ultimates a bunch, and I really need to be at a deep push in a wall, or else I'm wasting my time on them. How was the AA meeting? The Absolute Adversaries meeting was... there was a lot to talk about. It was good, though. Hello, Larry Ryder. Thank you for 30 months. Much appreciated. When do I recommend starting trial stuff? The moment you unlock it. The moment you unlock trials, you can do trials. Yeah. So yeah, It's pretty straightforward. The moment you unlock it, you can do it. It's kind of like Split the Party. The moment you unlock it, you can do it. I have a guide for that if you want to read up on it first, but it's it's pretty. Like the big things are like which champion do you choose to send away for a week and stuff like that. That's the big deal, and just the fact that you want to do like solid contributions on day one, and then the rest of the days for most players, the rest of the days you're just trying to get to the completion zone and then bail. I'll hydrate right as I drink root beer. Oh, combinations. We're only going to get a couple here. Mine for this stream. Mine for the last for my morning stream. And then I think that's it. I'm pretty sure we were live when this one went in. Yeah. Okay. All right. Fishing for blues and speed potions. No, nothing. Neither. We got neither. No, that's not. I didn't want a blue potion. I wanted a blue item. Oh well. We got a gold find potion, so our next super deep push somewhere can well, this would probably be our deep push in the next event. I don't think it would be needed for our water deep push, which is the next deep favor push that's on the schedule. Out of cream eggs. I ate them all. Ate them all. One of the things I'm going to be working on today is I updated the first milestone for my new player reference, and now I need to update. And I added a like an in between thing that I'm calling planning ahead. I need to update the second milestone, which is now it's not just unlock Azaka Stormfang, it's unlock Azaka Stormfang and the turn back time global blessing. Do you remember how much this one was? I could reset it, but... Oh, it's got to be like... Well, it doesn't have to be in the E23 range. Anybody remember what turn back time was? How much it cost? For a Shadowheart epic feat, is the one for Twilight Trickery better or the one for Ceramorphosis? Ceramorphosis, Althros, because Ceramorphosis buffs the pre-stack values, so... And a multiplicatively stacking ability, so it's way better. As long as you've got 2 or more tadpoles in your formation, it's way better. King Salame, congrats! Oh, I found a neat trick for Belial Tavabent, folks. Right before she goes to swing her arm forward, like she pulls it back. Let's see if I can... I'm not be able to. You can click right as she's pulling her arm back. This is great for Caddy alone as well. Right as she's pulling her arm back to go to attack, if you click on her, it interrupts her. And she's kind of like, what? And then she doesn't attack at all. And that's really the only way you can kind of get through the higher levels of Caddy alone without a tank. I think the speed potion was throwing me off. Not having any speed potions on that makes it easier. Because as her arm starts to swing back, you get a little leeway. You can click quickly on her, and it interrupts her attack. Almost one spell jammer at a time is tougher than almost evil the core. Oh, probably, yeah. Hey, Arcus. E19 for turn back time. Okay. I didn't think it was in the 20s. But I didn't want to reset it to find out. Hey, Ricardoso. Can I talk a bit about Azaka? Is she a good DPS? She can be. She's obviously, depending on who you have so far. I mean, when you first unlock Azaka, she's not going to have any gear. So she's not going to be great. But if you have the, like I have a bunch of silvers saved up, and then we'll start popping golds after that once we get there. She actually does a solid amount of DPS. And if you're going to use her for DPS, she has a specific DPS spec. It's the one that keeps her in her were-tiger transformation longer. So whichever one isn't resist. There's something. It's embrace or something. I can't remember. Yeah, you want to keep her in her were-tiger form longer. Or trigger it faster, or one of those things. Yeah. She's pretty straightforward. As a DPS. She likes attack speed buffs. Like if you can put her next to... If you can get her attacking faster, that's better. Yeah. So as a DPS champion, that's the big thing for Azaka. But what most people want Azaka for is her gold find. So she has another specialization that makes it so when you hit her ultimate, tigers, she gets 2 tigers that come out and join her. And when they attack an enemy, they bully it for its lunch money. And basically that enemy drops gold as if you had killed it. And you can keep it dropping gold over and over and over again. And this is the core functionality of Azaka farming. This is what you need. It isn't Azaka farming. You have to do a lot more to do Azaka farming, but she just getting her unlocks the ability to start thinking about that. I don't think Azaka farming is required early on, but it is, and it's not great early on, so that's why I don't think you have to worry about it. It could be a little more gold, but it may at the end of a run, but it might not be worth your time. But it's later when you have a lot of gold find champions, that's when it can become a big thing. She's also used for automated Briv gem farming. So the scriptless gem farming that people do with Briv as a gas and a break champion, which is I'm not even going to go into that now because it's a whole other thing that new players don't really need to know about. And isn't going to make sense a whole lot anyway. But later on, she can become a big deal in another way, basically. Dungeon Master DPS? I don't even know what's going on. Wow. Look, there's some weird stuff going on. I had a Starion DPS this morning on my tutorial show. And I'm like, how is that? You know what? Not even gonna try to figure it out. Not even gonna try to figure it out. I don't have enough time to answer all these questions anyway. Let me get back to the questions. Because it was like, I don't know. Fuzzy Boots, bringing up my favorite variant in the entire game. Why is Soriel's Resolve so hard? Probably because I'm gonna call you out a little bit here. Probably because you maybe don't understand that when you want to that this game isn't just about building the most damage you want. You have to have a combination of damage and survivability. That's the key to what makes Soriel's Resolve so far. It's the how hard is it? It's the first time in the game really where the game checks you on your knowledge. Can you build a formation that has both damage and survivability at the same time? Farm the heck out of favor and basically max the first two favor categories to full. Wait, so you only have... Hold on, this is another issue. You only have, like, tier 2 favor? Because that's going to... If you... okay. So you've got all through tier 5. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, because you need over E20 favor. So if you've filled all of Kellenbor's, then you have plenty of favor. But you're not building the right formation, is what it sounds like. Well, I know. I'm just going to tell you. I've been doing Soriel's Resolve for years and years and years, on new player accounts over and over and over again. It's a formation. It's all about the formation. Once you meet the favor requirements, it's all about your formation. So I do have a guide for that, but what I'm going to say here is there's two kind of key things that you need to keep in mind. Well, there's a couple. There's more than two. Oh, you don't know notation. You need to hit Y on your keyboard and turn on scientific notation, because I don't know what the hell that little letter means. Nobody does. So when you use scientific notation, you can just look at the numbers and know where you're at relative to the other numbers, because you just look at the number after the E and did things go up or things go down. Like, yeah, you can hit Y on a keyboard to switch, or you can go into settings, interface, scientific notation, and turn it on. But if you've maxed out tier 5, you're solidly into the E20s, so that's fine. So one thing you need to know about Valindra, she's an armored boss. So you do, and that means you need to take off more than one chunk every time you attack, which means you want a champion that has a multi-hit attack. Ashara is a basic example of this. So a lot of times we recommend people to build an Ashara formation, because she can hit like 5 times. She can remove 5 chunks with one base attack. However, if you have Krull, you need to use somebody other than Ashara, and you'll have to find somebody else, because Krull's a big deal. Krull could be a big deal as well for this, for another reason. But if you don't have Krull, Ashara is a good DPS to use. In the slot 5, even if you have someone like Briv, you want to use Calliope. Damage prevention is better than healing. So Calliope can shield your entire party. You put her into her lore spec, which lets her put shields on more often, and you fire off her ult, so it's everywhere. And basically, whenever they take damage, she'll put shields on everyone within range. And when damage is coming out of the shield before the health, that's damage prevention, right? Another big thing is you don't want to use your ultimates at the start of the fight, because every time you get through her health pool and she resurrects, she gets more damage and more health. So if you're using it to burn, if you fire them all off early, you've basically just pushed her into high damage mode, and then you don't have any more ultimates left. So what you want to do is just slowly whittle her down uh, until someone in your party's about to die, and then start firing off ultimates and hope that they remove enough to finish her off. Um, the other key thing is, in your formation, you're going to want at least 2 tanks with health share. It's important that they have health share. You don't need them to actually tank, because Valindra AoEs your party. And all of those trash mobs that are coming in, you should have a fire breath potion going to just kill those the moment they come in anyway, so that all your party's attacks are going on Valindra. But you need 2 tanks with health share. So that would be like, if you're using Nayeli needs to be in the right-hand spec, Devotion, to health share. Tyrell is in wild shape to tank. These things would share health with your party, and thus give them the health they need to live through that AoE bombardment. Yeah. Those are kind of the key pieces of that puzzle. If you have champions that have really cool multi-hit ultimates, like Krull or Corazon, bringing them in at the end, like, again, you want to fire those off right as somebody's going to die and hopefully burn through the end of them. Krull is huge for this. In fact, I have beaten Valindra Shadowmantle with all core champions plus Krull. So that's how strong Krull is in that fight. Just because of the ultimate. So, there's a lot of ways to do that fight. You don't need Krull at all. I've done it without Krull completely, but it needed multiple other strong event champions. So it just kind of depends. It is the toughest kind of early game variant in the game, and that's because people go into it not really understanding how to build survivability. They don't really know how to time things and how to make these adjustments, and that's the challenge of it. That's what I love about it, honestly. I like those kind of variants that make you process kind of what you've learned, hopefully, on your journey up to that point, and then you've got to use it all to actually get by whatever you're facing. I'm looking forward to getting there on this account. I think we're going to absolutely destroy it. We have so much favor. We have E25 Kalimdor favor, and I have Krull. It's going to be a little ridiculous. It's going to be a little ridiculous. I might actually try doing it without Krull, just as a challenge. Just use Ashara. We'll see. What'll happen with event tokens after the new one starts? Should spend them all before. Well, you should. You should spend them now. If you have enough to buy a pack, so if you have 7,500 or more, you should buy the packs. You should buy the gear packs you want from the store. So come over here and go to anytime. I swear to God. Go to whatever champion you want to buy, and buy your chest packs. When the event ends, if you have more than 7,500, the game will automatically buy chest packs for you randomly until you get below 7,500, and then those go into your inventory. There'll be a token that shows up here with a number count on it. It'll say event token, and it'll store up your total. And it's that way, even if you pop bounty contracts in between an events, it will go on to that token in your inventory. So the game now saves those for you between events. You used to just lose them completely, but not anymore. Not anymore. Oh, nice. 6 levels on it. Cool. Hey, Jorthanis. Did I say that already? I might have. Hello again. Struggling with it for 3 days straight. Yeah, it's one of those things where whenever you run into something like that, you need to stop and look at it objectively and go, what is it that's preventing me from moving forward? Like, what are the mechanics that this boss has? First off, like, do I understand how the boss works? And for Valindra, understanding that every time she gets a resurrection, she gets more health, which means it's harder to kill her, and she starts doing more damage. So the further you get in, the greater the likelihood she's going to wreck your face, right? So you need to understand that, and then you need to say, what is killing me? Well, what's killing me is when it should be when she AOE's my whole party for lots of damage. So how do you prevent that? Well, damage prevention. Like if she AOE's your party and everybody just dies from the damage, healing doesn't matter, right? You're dead. So preventing the damage is a big deal. Oh, we're in an ad break. So yeah, understanding those mechanics is big to moving forward in the game. Mm-hmm. Nothing's muted. I just stopped talking. Because we're in an ad break, so. I talked a lot this morning. I talked so much. We went like 75 minutes before the musical break. Seven champions with as much going on as the Absolute Adversaries was a lot of talking. A whole lot of talking. Hey, you'll hydrate. Refill my water. Yeah, and if you ever just beat your head against something for multiple days straight, go just find something else to do in the game for a little bit. Come back to it. Anvil. First time I did Swords of Fall, I did it without Krull or Corazon. Yeah, I mean you don't need either of them. People get through it, but it's like it's just one of those things. Are you processing what's happening or not? And are you like trying to adjust for it? There are some people that force through, but some people are like, oh, you got to use Briv for it, and I'm like, Briv's garbage for that. But basically, they get through it with Briv, and they think Briv is the key. But what happened is that they overpowered it. They brute forced it. Briv wasn't the key. They would have been able to do it with a lot less work if they just used Calliope. I have 7 familiars, 2 parties at the same time. Is it worth it to buy more familiars or buy gold chests? It depends on how many you have. I currently have 5. I saved up for the Pixie because we were burning through a lot of regular adventures and variants or regular adventures in Waterdeep. I earned a lot of gems. Plus, I'm earning thousands offline at night now that I have my Modron core. So that let me get to the Pixie real quick. But now the next one is 30,000. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't necessarily want to hold off for that, but I could. We could go for Armored Juniper. I wouldn't want to do it right now while I'm working on events because events aren't earning me as many gems. Like I'm not getting the gem reward at the end of an adventure like I would, or a variant like I would if we were back in Tomb of Annihilation. So I feel like once we're back working on our way towards Azaka and Dragonbait, that's when I would do this. But right now, because I'm just doing event stuff, I'm going for gold chests because I'm trying to get I'm trying to get speed potions. Because that's, the quicker I can get this stuff done, the quicker I can get back to the regular campaigns. And thus, the quicker I can start earning lots of gems at once. Or at least feel like I'm earning them more efficiently, right? Right now, I'm just earning them off boss drops, which is fine. But I'm getting them out of Electrum chests. But, yeah. You really need to be getting also those rewards at the end of an adventure or a variant to really collect them quickly. But yeah, if you keep a second party running, I'm not, but if you do keep a second party running, that's gonna slowly trickle in some gems too. So something to keep in mind. Five is a good milestone. Like I can do 3 here. I can have 2 on ultimates that I like. When I'm done with, and I don't care about the ultimates, I can put all 5 out on the field, and it'll pick up the boss bag as well. 6 is another good one because then I could have 5 on the field and 1 on click damage. Or I could have 3 in this party, and I could use 3 in a background party. I don't have a core for the background party though, so but I have to then manually switch back and forth. Use your other party only for offline. Right now, I don't really use it for a whole lot because it needs familiars. There are some people, like, I think that you could with 5, you could put 3 here, and you could use 2 in a background party. But you can't automate it because I want the automation in the main party to earn more experience. So you'd still have to come over here and check in on it regularly. Even with 2 familiars, it would level up. Basically, you'd put 1 familiar on the field and 1 on click damage. And just let it push that way. And it would earn you some gems in the background. Right now, my focus is more on getting through this quickly and having a familiar on Human's ultimate, which makes him go faster, and then Astarian's ultimate, which reduces the cooldown on Human's ultimate. That's basically making me go faster through this because I don't have speed potions. So I'm basically I'm working a whole hell of a lot because I don't have speed potions. But it's for me, it's worth it. For me, it's worth it. Hey, Niscus. By the way, hello. Yeah, because we're in these. Tier 2 has real high area goals, 350. The one we do after this is 450. So we're just in cruise mode. There isn't anything we can really do to speed it up either. Well, there literally isn't anything we can do to speed it up. I don't have any other speed potions that I'm willing to use. I'm not willing to use these for this at all. They are more valuable used somewhere else. Going 350 areas isn't even... I can go 350 areas and it doesn't use an entire large potion either. It would use 3 consecutive mediums. So larges are even wasted on a 350 zone, and it would be better for me because of my speed on a 450 one, but I don't have any. So. Two more chance to split the party, and you have 10 time gate pieces. Okay. It's the best now. Wait for 2 more time gate pieces. The 2 champs? What? Oh. Starting with patrons and spin. Mert. Unlock Mert. Mert. 3 time gate pieces on Mert is a must do. Get yourself Mert, because then you're going to want to go do... I've done 3 variants now, but you can do 2 variants to get enough influence to then buy a time gate piece back. So you're going to spend 3. You're going to do 2 variants for Mert, and then you're going to get a time gate piece back. And then and it's good to do it now because Monday, this shop will reset and then you can buy another time gate piece from Mert. So you're basically going to get your time gate pieces back over the course of 3 purchases from Mert. But then every week going forward, you'll get an extra time gate piece that you can buy from Mert. So you definitely want to do that. And then you'll still have 7 time gate pieces. You can pick up another champion for split the party. Hopefully, if you can if one of those champs could be a speed champion, that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, then you can work one of those towards split the party. But getting Mert right away is big because it actually gets you everything else. It gets you Mert and everything else faster. You're starting to get a snowball of time gate pieces where every patron then is going to have a time gate piece for you every week. So getting them unlocked quickly is important. Like if you have the ability to do it right now, do it. Basically, even if it means you've got to wait on split the party. How do I get time gate pieces? You get one every 5 days from a boss. Like there's an internal timer. Kill a boss, he drops a time gate piece. Then there's an internal timer that says, well, now you're going to wait 5 days for one to be available from a boss kill. In Tomb of Annihilation, this is why we say turn back time, tier 5. Once you get this global blessing, then that boss will drop 2 every week. Or 2 every 5 days. Okay. So naturally, you're just going to earn 1. Once you get this blessing, you'll get 2. And then each patron can give you 1. You can buy 1 a week. So as long as you're playing the game, you'll get your time every 5 days, you'll get a time gate piece. Hey, Elvium. If you're spending cash on the game, sometimes wild offers will have time gate pieces in them as well. Do I have a wild offer right now? I do. This one doesn't have it, but sometimes one of these rewards will be time gate pieces when you do that. Oh, I forgot to check my sales. I gotta do that maybe. But yeah, there's no other way to get time gate pieces. There was a meta event like last week where every day you logged in, you got a spring celebration chest, and there was a time gate piece in every one of those. They'll do stuff like that, but just for normal play, it's 1 off a boss every 5 days, and then 1 from each patron every week. So you'll get to a certain point as you unlock. Once you unlock 4 patrons and you have that blessing, you'll be able to do a time gate every week, a manual time gate every week. Still got to figure out how to word that in the update for the new player reference. We're adding a lot more information to that, and it's going to make that guide longer. But hopefully longer means better. It's not always the case, but hopefully that's the way it works out here. The phrasing emote being I would have to make it myself is the problem. I'm not sure how I would go about doing it in a way that looks decent. It would have to be like PHRA on the top half. I'd have to squish it down and then SING exclamation point or question mark on the bottom half. Or because I can't make an animated one. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know that would look that great, but maybe one day. That requires me having free time to mess around in an art program and make that happen. And lately, my free time is spent cutting up VODs from this channel and uploading them to YouTube. So until I get caught up on that, I don't know that I would do any other free time stuff. You explain the speed thing. So there are effects in the game that we call speed effects because they'll basically speed up your overall progress. For one, there's a whole type of potions, array of potions that are called speed potions. They'll speed up like different amounts, so 25% faster, 75% faster, 125% faster, and 175% faster. And these actually multiply against each other, so you can combine two of them to get to the cap of like 10x speed. There's also champions that have speed effects. Technically, then they'll be labeled as speed champions. So Minsk can spawn extra enemies with waves, and basically what that means is you're going to be able to hit your area goal faster because more enemies spawned. Whereas like Human can get you extra credit towards those area goals, those quests, which obviously then lets you clear the level faster. Briv can just skip levels. He just jumps over levels, but only if he has gas in the tank. Like if he has these sprint stacks, which I don't have any, so he's not doing anything. So there's a bunch of different kinds of speed effects off of champions that are called speed champions, and they can speed up your progress in different ways. There's even a Modron core that has a speed effect. These are Modron cores. You get these when you unlock your second party. Like when you do a split the party. This is in Split the Party 2. The original Split the Party, basically, you get a second party, a Modron core, and some Modron chests. And then when you Split the Party 2, you get another party, a fast core with speed effects and more Modron chests. There's also a Split the Party 3. There isn't a Split the Party 4 yet, but I feel like it's right. Like, we're waiting for it. Like, come on. They've basically said they're not going to do the next Split the Party, like add another background party until they've improved performance on like some platforms. So most likely the mobile and maybe console. Definitely mobile for sure. And yeah, speed effects don't work in the background really. Not off champions. Speed effects from the core and speed potions will, but you don't want to use. You don't really want to use speed potions in a background or offline. That's like a waste. Yeah, speed is make you progress through adventures faster. Yeah. Why? What? Just in general? Why do we exist? Or I had Del Taco for lunch. Pretty much every Saturday. I'm a creature of habit. I get a burrito and churros and a root beer. Oh, and fries. It's Del Taco's combos come with fries. Oh, why is it a waste? Because if you're playing the game, actively playing the game, you want these speed effects in your active party. It is just going to get you. It is going to function so much better to have these in your active party instead of being used in a simulation in a background party or offline. So while you're active in the game, you use these to speed up your progress. It just works way better. And you don't. And look, I'm completely out of these. Anytime I get them, I'm using them. So why would I want to? Why would I want to waste them in a background party where for the however many minutes they're active, they're not even really getting utilized fully. They're only really ever going to get fully utilized in this active party. So maybe at some point, if you have hundreds and hundreds of them, and you don't mind using them inefficiently, sure. But because you get so few of them, like save them for when it's really going to matter, in my opinion. Well, speed things work differently on your computer than other people's whatever they're using to run the game, Lurking Rider. Let's be clear. The way the simulation used to run, and I think they've changed it, was that it basically looked at could you clear, like, there was a certain number of time that they basically factored each, like, could you clear this area in this amount of time, and then it's looking, could you go to the next one and the next one and the next one, and it would basically simulate a level every so many seconds. And they've made some changes to it, so I don't know exactly how it functions anymore, but the reality is the background progress is slower. Like I could run with and without speed. With no speed effects, anything. I could have this one running a background party. We'll just argue and say the same amount of damage, and the background party is going to move slower than the active party because the simulation's just, or it should. The simulation is just processing differently. And because you can add speed effects to the active party, like speed champions, the active party can then do things a lot faster. And it just makes it way more efficient. So if you can then, capitalize on that efficiency by then also adding speed potions to it, you're getting more effective use of the time from that speed potion than you would if you were to put it into a background party. Wow, you doubled your FPS today? What did you do to double your FPS? Okay, Ryder. He went from 1 to 2. That's huge. I don't want to double my FPS. These are speed potion, any story or variant. Yeah, and any adventure variant, yeah. And what I do is I look for like, based off what I'm going to use is what I'm going to do. Like, this is a 5-minute potion. So if I was just running to like area 50 or 75, this one would probably work pretty well with my current, like with my speed champions, and it would wear off before I'm done, which is, then you're not wasting potion. 15 minutes is for, like, if I'm going 125 areas or 100 areas or more. I think it's 100 with my current speed champions. If I'm going over 100 areas, then one of these works and wears off before I'm done. This is more if I'm going 400 areas or more. Because again, 4 times as long. So if I use it for 350, it's still going to have some functionality when I end, but it goes away because I end the run. And then so anything 400 areas or more, anything 100 areas or more, and this is like maybe 50 areas or more. 50 areas. But this one I want to keep for when I'm doing a very deep push for favor. because my deep pushes for favor can go to areas 700, 800. And this basically is going to work the entire run. So I can pop it at the beginning and I can go fast through the whole thing without having to worry about it wearing off. But I don't want to use this for any of these others. Like for anything, even if, because the current area goal is 450 is the highest I'm going to run into. I would only want to pop this. This would be a waste because these are hard to get. I know I got 3, but at least one of those was a giveaway. The other 2 came out of a lot of gold chests, so. Oh, I can turn this off because this doesn't do anything. Well, actually, this would be doing something. Oh no, I never saved a formation. I should probably just. I should probably turn this into an actual formation. Yeah, maybe. That looks okay. Save. Oh, but. How are the champion choices for natural time gates determined? I read in your guide it's partly release here, but also partly dependent on champion zone. Right. Do I just have to pray that I'll get a C5 champion? Yes. Yes. So there's 3 buckets. We call them buckets because there's 3 slots you could get. So one bucket is year 1 champions. Another bucket is year 2 champions. And then the final bucket is year 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Hence why we keep telling them they need to rework time gates. Because the bucketing is just horrible now. So you have a much higher chance of getting a year 1 or year 2 you're guaranteed a year 1 and year 2 champion. But year 3 through 7 is just a jumble, right? And then of those 3 champions, there's rules. One of those champions is always going to be a champion you don't own. But which bucket it falls in. So you could get 2 champions that you already own, and then one you don't. Even if you don't have a lot of champions at it, could just work out that way. So yeah, time gates are in need of, especially after events 2.0. Time gates are in need of a big rework. But yeah, you're only guaranteed 1 champion that you don't own. And then once you have all the champions, it's just going to be random. It'll still be year 1, year 2, and then every other year. At least that's the last way we were told the buckets work. So that's all I can talk about is the last way I saw it work. Getting the Feywild Fen pack for $6.99 worth it if I don't have Fen yet? If you want Fen for because you're either you're running Black Dice Society group or you just want her for making your patron challenges easier, then yeah, I mean that's an inexpensive Fen pack, right? You're getting a champion and some stuff for $6.99. But like that's kind of her big thing is either you're running Black Dice Society or you're running, or you just want to you change her, or use her to make your patron challenges go quicker. What else is going on? $5.99 familiar. I mean, we just got these, so that's less valuable. $6.99 familiar. Starter packs are like, meh. You get them for like the golden, really. If you want the gold, if you're like hunting goldens. The way we can see the skin effect without buying it? I don't know what you mean. I mean, it's right here. What do you mean? Like her ultimate form? I mean, I would like to see the ultimate form if that's what you're talking about. But I don't know what else. I don't know what else you mean. But yeah, when there's a champion that has things they bring out, like if they bring out minions and if they change their form for an ultimate, I'd like to see that in the purchasing too. Ad break. We're back from the ad break already. There's still like 50 seconds for a lot of people. So. Oh, there's another stream. There's another stream. Hey, we got a blue for Eliwick. And a large potion of speed. The crowd goes wild. We'll use this on our next run. We'll use that on our next run. But that got us one of the blues we needed for Eliwick, an Electrum chest, and a speed potion for the next run. So that was a great pull. But yeah, I would like it if there's different visuals for a champion. I would like it to show that in the purchase. I think that's something we just kind of have to ask on Dev Insights. Let me see if do I have that. Let me throw this over here. All right, I got a question. So the next time Dev Insights returns, about that. How's Nordum setting Bud in a Crux formation? I feel like Bud's buggy for you, Lurking Ryan. I feel like you've triggered it. Or is there anybody that's got goose eggs up here for you? Because it feels like that's what's going on. But I don't know. I can't see your game. Is there a way to get golden epics without buying them? Very few. Very few. Patrons each have a couple, but they're for for champions that qualify for them, and usually it's for evergreens. So it's very, very few, and occasionally, very rarely, they will give you as a reward a golden potion. That's instead of a potion of polish, it's called a golden potion, and it'll turn an item golden. But again, very rare. But yeah, not so much. Not so much. But here's the thing: you don't need them. You don't. You don't even need shinies. What it's doing is like a shiny is making that item slot 50% more powerful, and a golden is making it 100% more powerful. But you could just get that power by adding more blacksmithing contracts. Right? You can get there without it. They've become this thing that people like to chase, but technically you could get the same kind of power from more blacksmithing contracts. Oh, the Thayan Enclave does have some occasionally, yes. There's more recently through the Thayan Enclave, but they're for very specific people. This one's actually a good one if you have Dynaheir. The nerds one is. It's nerds, so. Only vibe, it's supposed to be that way. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, Elminster gives you one. See, so they're introducing more golden potions, but Elminster's shop has one potion of golden available. One-time purchase. I mean, there's people that have it in Athlos, but yeah. A 9 jump on just a normal epic would be rough on Briv. Yes, it would. It is when you have to put thousands of item levels into something, you definitely at least want it shiny, but golden is ideal. Golden is ideal. So it is better for like a Briv. Everybody else you can get there normal. It's just, but you can. And technically with Briv you can, but he would need so many more. What? Captions? I did not curse. Captions is like F asterisks. I was going bum 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 along with the song. What the hell? What the hell, captions? Dynahair's speed effect is a pretty high cap, but it's nothing like Briv. Dynahair and Virgil are the most item level needy champions that have a cap. Yeah. That is something to keep in mind, but it's not like it's not Briv levels of ridiculousness. Nothing. Well, Melf is the only one that comes close to Briv levels of ridiculous now that they capped Tatiana. But at least even a Melf has a functional cap that you can get to. Briv doesn't. Chest says it contains gear for 5 specific champions. Okay. Like a weekend chest. But I currently only own 2 of those champions. Will I get guaranteed gear for those 2 champions? Well, it's the only gear that's going to drop is for the champions you own out of a group chest. Whether that chest lists those names or whether it's a patron chest, you can't out of group chests, you can't get gear for a champion you don't own. named chests, like if it says, "Hi, I'm a Jim Dark Magic chest," even if you don't have Jim, you could open that chest. His gear would go in the closet for him when you unlock him, because it couldn't go anywhere else. But on a group chest, if you have someone that qualifies for it, that's where it's going, and it won't go anywhere else. I need to add that question too. Recently kept a speed item. Good job. Now, I'm going to do it for Melf and for Melf, Vi, and Whittle. Right? Because doesn't Vi have one too? Yeah. Yeah, hers is ridiculous too. Yeah, okay. There's another question for the devs. They're going to come back from vacation and just be like, why is Garwar being such a jerk? There's Virgil again. Virgil's a champion in slot 10 from oh my god. Oh my, Rivals of Waterdeep. I was like, row, row, row your boat. Rivals of Waterdeep. He's the one that likes weather change effects, and he's also speed champion that can also up attack speed, which is neat. Yeah, Urban Bohemian was the creator. Is the content creator behind Virgil? Not was, is, because still plays them on occasion. Oh, the weekend buff ruins it. Dynahair? Did you have Dynahair? It's the Rashomon travel weekend. Were you using Dynahair in your formation? No, is the resolve hers? Okay. Yeah, the weekend buffs can mess with your automated Brib Gem farming. Oh, it's her mop. Wait, no, I thought her mop is her spec choice. Now I'm confused. Come on. She's a sneaky mop. It's her spec choice. Resolve of Rashomon, if that screwed up your gem farm, it's because you're doing too much damage. Like Brib is doing too much. Somebody's doing too much damage. Is that what it is? Somebody's doing too much damage. It's not her speed effect or her mop. Oh, I guess it's her mop if you're going. If you're doing circle magic. But it's not her item. It's not the mop that makes her an item. So. Oh, your last weekend was what happened. Okay. You had people that were in last weekend. Now you don't have damage. Yeah, that's completely different. That's different. So it's not so much that this weekend screws up your speed formation. It's that last weekend did, and you just haven't adjusted it back yet. Mop is mathematically overpowered ability, which specifically is it has a, we've defined this specifically as an ability that has stacks of some kind that multiply against themselves, and then also have an item and or feats that boost the pre-stack multiplier. Call this a mop. It's not necessarily when numbers go, but it can. It requires that you. It can be nice on its own without any gear, but if you take that champion and then invest, you can invest item levels in that champion forever without effectively having the diminishing returns kick in for that ability. Whereas normally the most efficient 100 levels, the most efficient amount of item levels to put on a champion is 100, and then after that you're delving into diminishing returns. It's still good to go above it, but it's not good to like super heavily invest outside of a speed champion, unless they have an ability that's a mop, in which case you're constantly getting a return on that investment. So yeah, when you invest in them, they go hard. And I think the minimum for me, what I've seen is as really kicking in is around 1,000 item levels on that item, which means you need average 1,000 level item levels, which is a lot. You're running like between 5 and 6,000 total in item levels invested on that champion. So it's more of a mid to late game worry, like about getting them that big. But they're going to be strong for you even in the early game, just because their abilities, if you can get stacks, their abilities are going to they're going to naturally be a bit stronger than other champions who are at the same item level. That's a good way to think of it, Lurking Rider. I don't know if it. I would love to see the spreadsheet on it, but yeah, order of magnitude increases in item levels is a rough idea for power increase. Yeah, so like when you have just when you go from single digits, like getting 10 average item levels is good, but then to really see a significant difference, like you need 100. But then 100 and going up isn't going to be a huge big deal. But if you but the jump from 100 to 1,000, big deal. Then 1,000 to 10,000, big deal. Take one order of magnitude, please. No fries. No fries. What? But yeah, the first 100 levels is the kind of the biggest, because you're basically getting, it's not exact, but you're getting like 100% more power, right? So then to get on that item, so then to get 100% more power from that same item from that point, you would actually need like 200 more item levels, I think is how it works out. Like so the more you want to, like, you double your power. You want to double it again, you need way more item levels, and then you need way more items levels to double that. So for the kind of, if you think about it as increasing the power, it starts getting ridiculous. Well, I don't know about that, Anvil. Fireforge. Burger King used to sell chicken fries. I got them a few times. It's basically just they're basically were like chicken strips, but in the shape of a French fry. They weren't the worst, but they weren't the best. They were a thing that you could get. That's basically all I can say about it, and be honest. They were highly dippable, though, I will say that. Because of the shape. Just because of the shape. I'm at the 30K point. You only go from 10K to 30K. So 10K is the Pixie, 30K is Armored Juniper. I'm curious how, I mean, it's a size chart, how mashed ends up bigger. But okay. And you also forgot potato skins in that chart. The green flaming hand is a skin. I have the mage hand. The skin for the mage hand. I guess they're thinking a plateful, but yeah. Yeah, tots weren't on there. Wow, tots and potato skins weren't there. And also, when you're talking about, like, I don't see hash browns. See hash browns. And there's two different kinds of hash browns too. I don't know. Tots for children. What? Tater tots. It's potato children. I guess maybe that's where the name came from. They're potato children. Tater tots. Lurking Rider. Come on. Tater tots. Oh, this image is. Oh god, that link is horrible. Hold on. Let me find a good. Let me find a good picture of tater tot. Oh, this is. That makes me. Oh my god, this is huge. This picture of tater tots is huge. Tater tots. Close up. You might have to zoom out. It might be too close. Tater tots. Skinning from all kinds of skin towards costume party blessing. I think that's just for champions. I think it calls out just for champions. I think it's horrible. Let me share it with you. No, one was way too long. You know the kind where it's like, oh, it's a paragraph. Like tots. Yeah, that's what I say. It's close up. It's way too. It's way too big. It's way too big. Tater tots are like this big, and like that round. They're literally potato children. That makes so much more sense now. Why do you call them tots? Because they're kids. They're potato kids. Can you imagine a tater tot like? I mean, if you could cook it all the way through, I'd eat it. But no, there's tater tots. There's two different types of hash browns. We need potato skins. Do you at least know like what a potato skin is? A baked potato skin. Do you know what that is? Oh, let me get a. Oh, these have. Oh God, these have sour cream and bacon on them. Now it's just upsetting. Oh, this is better. Give me one that doesn't make me sick to my stomach here. There's a potato skin. It's basically a twice baked potato. That one's got bacon in it too. I don't like the bacon, but usually you put some cheese in it. I like to dip it in ranch, personally. Those are good. Those are good. But then we get into hash browns, and there's two different kinds of hash browns. So you can have hash browns. Oh no, that's way. That's again another one of those big. Oh my God! Why do you do this? Why do you make pictures so big? Okay. Here's McDonald's hash browns. Which yeah. Yes, please. But then you also have no, that's a crappy picture too. Why do you give me a good picture of hash browns? No, that's a horrible picture. Here we go. This is better. Yeah, this is better. Here's hash browns. So it's like you've grated potatoes and then you fry it. Yeah, scalloped is a form of potatoes too, but I don't know. I'm not as big a fan of scallop. I eat scallop regularly, and oh, interesting. It looks like a potato fry. But isn't that just a French fry already? I don't understand. Yeah, diner hash browns versus McDonald's hash browns is a good way to put it. I like both. I like both. Well, we don't have to bring up potato salad because that's disgusting because it's got mayonnaise in it. I don't do mayonnaise. Mayonnaise and I don't get along. And everyone's running into Dragon Bait and just getting beaten, it seems. Someone posted it on the forums again. Or on Reddit. Excuse me. Ad break coming up. I am not vegan. I just can't. My stomach doesn't like mayonnaise for whatever reason. My mouth doesn't like it either. So my body is in agreement that mayonnaise is not something that goes in it. There are times when, like, if it's just a small amount of mayonnaise, hasn't been a big deal. But if it's a heavily mayonnaised thing, like I can't have a mayo on a sandwich. It just, I don't know. It just nah. No mayo on why would I want mayo on fries? No, no mayo anywhere. I've had like a tuna fish sandwiches, like you make tuna fish. I've had that with a little bit of mayo before and been okay, but if it's like but even that, if there's too much mayo, no. So I don't just don't do mayo. I just stay away from mayo. I say neo to mayo. Why would I make my own version of something I don't like? No. Nope. And we're back, folks. If you got served an ad break, then you're probably lucky and you didn't hear me offend a lot of people in chat. You're welcome. You're welcome. Rafflin, how many champions do you recommend having for the variants that unlock Belushi and Crux? I don't know. Seems like they're easier the more champions you have. Yeah, sure. Crux wants speed champions specifically. Belushi just needs fodder. Like you gotta burn through some champions, and so, but like I think in Belushi you're going to lose 23 champions, so you need to at minimum have 33 available. That's really it. If you've got more than 33, you're fine. Because, well, no, 32, I think. Because one is gonna be the bullywug, and then you get 9 other champions. So by the time you get there, that shouldn't be an issue. Crux is more that you need speed. You need some powerful speed champions because you've got to race through it. I've had a non-dairy mayo. No, I just stay away from mayo. I just stay away from the mayo. Anything that says mayo, like I don't like the flavor. I don't like the texture. I don't. There's no reason for me to go anywhere near anything that's like mayo. Now I've had things that I've had things that have some mayo in it. That can change the texture and the flavor enough that it's fine for me. But also my stomach. But that's just getting it in my mouth. My stomach doesn't like it. Like if mayo's been in something, I can usually tell a little while later. My stomach like, oh, what the hell did you just put in me? No spicy mayo. Why would I put mayo on my sushi? I mean, that's what. Look, wasabi and soy. Like, I mean, I guess you could call that spicy mayo, but that's not mayo. It's no. Yeah, Miracle Whip calls itself salad dressing, which I would never. Why I would never put Miracle Whip on a salad? Like, what are they? What are they calling them? What? Maybe I guess potato salad. Is a Miracle Whip made for potato salad? Maybe like custard. I don't know the last time I ever had a custard to know. Have I ever had a custard? I don't know. Oh, I mean, you're just adding sriracha to mayo. No, because why would I want mayo? Again, it goes back to like, why would I want mayo? Yeah, again, a tuna salad, chicken salad, potato salad. I stay away from all of those things. All of them. I used to have a make it at it. I worked at a bakery that basically had a deli in front, and I used to have to make chicken salad, and just making it, I was like, oh, how do people eat this? Like, there's so much mayo. I would just, oh, it would turn my stomach just making it. We have 43 areas to go. Getting there. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would only work for like those salads that are basically made out of just like the base is mayo, like potato salad, tuna salad, chicken salad. They're not salads. Those aren't salads. If anything, they're a thick soup. They're a really thick, gloppy soup. Or a stew, like, oh, except they're not hot, they're cold. I don't know, they're just not great. Calling that a salad is just an insult to a salad. Just mayonnaise and bread? Whoa. Salad includes half pears with a dollop of Miracle Whip in the hollow. Yeah, I've seen people do that, and I feel like uh, it's just mean. It's just mean to take a delicious pear and then to throw mayonnaise in the middle of it. That's mean. Why would you do that to a pear? Pears are delicious. Yeah. Breakfast cereal with milk soup. I mean, it's a cold soup. What do they call that? They call it cold soups. Yeah. Gazpacho. Yeah, it's gazpacho. All those, I mean, well, soups are usually like some kind of. Well, no, I was about to say like a broth, but I mean, the milk comes from an animal, so I don't know. Or it's a vegetable, but then like, yeah, it's gazpacho. Cereal is breakfast gazpacho. It's like a hot dog is an open faced sandwich. Now, peaches and cottage cheese, yes. Yes, pears and cottage cheese. Now, there's the thing. You can put a cottage cheese with pear. I can combine that with pears or peaches or pineapple. It's good with pineapple. I'll do that in a bowl. I mix it up and eat it. Mayonnaise? No, not mayonnaise. Put the milk in first or the cereal first? I put the cereal in first. I don't do a whole lot of milk because I don't like it when it gets soggy. I don't know if gazpacho is specifically tomato. I'm just saying like a cold soup. I'm just saying cold soup is gazpacho. I don't care. And then I'm just relating that to cereal. Well, if you need a fork and a knife, to me that's stew, not soup. I don't know. I have this weird thing from stews to soups. Like some people like to call things soups, and I'm like, no, it's chunky. Like that's if the consistency is more chunky stuff that you're chewing through, it's a stew than a soup to me. I've never had Fritos and cottage cheese. That seems don't understand that, but okay. Yeah, I know apple pie and cheddar cheese is something people like. Melted over the cheese, melted over the top of it. I don't eat apple pie. I don't eat fruit pies. Salsa is a fruit salad. Well, no, it's not because there's I mean, unless tomato is the only thing in your salsa, like tomatoes and mangoes or something. But salsas usually have vegetables in it too. It's a mix. It's a fruit and veg. It's a fruit and veggie thing. It's fruit and vegetables. I think, but whatever. And if you're gonna make chicken pot pies after all this food talk, chicken pot pies are good. That's a good thing to eat too. Mm. It's tough to get the right balance. Like a lot of times, I'll get a chicken pot pie from somewhere, and it's not enough. And it's either like too much crust, not enough filling, or the filling is too liquidy and not chunky enough. Like you gotta have like the ratios in a chicken pot pie are super important. The ratios in any food are super important. You can really make something horrible, but a chicken pot pie really has you got to have the ratio right between all three main what I would call main portions. Started trials. We should doing a solo and a goal for DPS. Yes. The first area, it's area 100. Do you push as far as I can go on this one or end it and start another? Well, Skyfire, basically your goal is to get like, if you're doing it by yourself, you're trying to get your DPS contribution, like your Bud, between 180 and 200. So like I can't show you, but on the screen, you'll see like additional DPS. It'll show your Bud value and it'll say what it's taking. It's taking the order of magnitude of your Bud additively, and that's what you're trying to shoot for to do it on your own. If you can clear 100 and you're already at 180 to 200 somewhere in there, 187, um, then you're fine and you can just end it. It's just, what is pho? Man, I am not the one to describe pho. It's like, it's a valid question. I didn't know what pho was for like until maybe about 2009, 2010, maybe when I had it for the first time. It's like a ramen. It's like a ramen, but it's got a lot of stuff in it. I think that's the best way to describe it. Because to me, well, I guess ramen now lately has a lot of stuff in it too. I don't know. Somebody else describe pho. Describe the difference between pho and ramen, because I don't know. To me, well, you got to understand, Letty. I grew up with ramen being just a brick of Marichan ramen or an instant cup of soup, right? That's all. That was ramen to me. Nowadays, ramen has like your whole fridge in it, and that's not how I grew up with ramen. That's not my relationship with ramen. Well, but it's ramen. The ramen noodles. That's ramen. Look, don't get all judgy. It literally says ramen noodles. Um, and so if you didn't grow up with lots of stuff in your ramen, that's what ramen was. That's what ramen is. Yeah. But I've enjoyed. As to say, it's the same thing as everything. I can go. I've had pho. My friend took me to get pho for the first time, and I was like, I'm looking at the menu, and I'm like, I need something that I can eat. like we found one that was like, okay, yeah, you probably like this one. This one doesn't have too much in it. It's a it's a little too wild for you, and I don't know, it was good. It was good. But yeah, I mean, to this day, like I wouldn't. I mean, I would go into one of those places and I'd probably have to hunt for something that, or maybe customize something, because I definitely don't want just crack an egg and cook it in it. No, no thanks. Oh man. Oh, there you go. Pho uses beef bone as the soup base and rice noodles. Okay, but then it can have a lot of stuff in it. You can add a lot of things to it. National dish of Vietnam: clear flavored beef broth with rice noodles and bits and pieces of beef, garnishes like mint, cilantro, chili, sprouts, and various sauces on the side, which you add to your taste. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about like what I had. Doesn't ramen noodles mean it's just the noodle part of the ramen? Right. But here's the thing, Bunny Beast. If you only grew up like most Americans did, I want to be very clear, with the ramen that's sitting on the shelf at the grocery store, ramen noodles, you have no idea that there's anything else that people would put in ramen because you've never had it. So when people started describing ramen as having all this stuff, I was like, that's not ramen. What are you talking about? Ramen doesn't have all that stuff in it, because that's just not what I grew up with being called ramen. It was invented for college students to feed themselves. I don't know about that, but that's definitely how college students eat. I mean, I that's what I ate as a kid. That's what I was saying the other day. I think last week or whatever. I was saying the first thing I ever learned to cook was ramen noodles. Just heating up the water, boiling water, throwing the brick in, and then adding the flavoring packet. And that was it. Put other stuff in it. What other stuff? There was no recipe telling you to add other stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm one of those people that everybody's going to hate this, I'm sure. I boil all my water. I put the flavoring packet in, let it cook, let it sit, let the flavor get in. Then I strain all the juice out, and then I just eat the noodles. I don't want the rest of it. I just want the noodle. I want the noodles that are now flavored in that broth. I don't want any of the juice. None of it. I want as little left in that bowl as possible. I'm kind of the same way when I eat a stew. I'll scoop it up and I'll kind of strain it out a bit and then put it in my bowl so I get just as chunk. I just want all the chunkage. I don't want the rest. We drain most of the water before out of the season. I don't know. I dump it in right whatever amount of water is supposed to be in there. Let it mix up. But maybe I should drain some of it. I'll think about that next time I make ramen. I've never been to a ramen place ever. So I'm sure like a look, I'm not saying that here's the thing. I recognize that someone making fresh ramen is probably way better than the packs, but you also have to recognize that I grew up on the packs, so that defines ramen for me. It's always going to be a comparison, and it'll always be something that I'll want to go back and eat just because that's what I remember. Kind of like McDonald's. McDonald's is not a burger. That's a McDonald's like a cheeseburger from McDonald's is not a cheeseburger. It's not. It's not ever going to be like yeah. But even after you've had a real burger somewhere, you may still want to occasionally go back and get a McDonald's cheeseburger because it's a different thing and you enjoy it. I only do chicken ramen. I don't do any of the others. I don't do the beef, I don't do the shrimp. Just the chicken flavored ramen. It's the only one I care about. But I just figure that means there's more beef and shrimp for everybody else. Like more levels. My interrupter attacks again. Got it. See, this is how you do it. Nope, you don't get to attack. Just click on her when she pulls her hand back. I don't know, I missed it. I did it too early. If you do that, she'll never attack. Interrupted it again. Got it again. Got it again. Love it. Love it. All right. Now down. Yeah, Letty, it comes in huge on Caddy alone. If you don't have